Hey, book lovers and gift givers. Today we're diving into one of the best gift ideas out there. Books!
Right. There's something really personal about giving someone a book. It's like saying, I thought you'd really love this story. And it's perfect for every occasion. Birthdays, holidays, Christmas, even just because.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the book itself, it's about the experience. A good book can transport you to another world, give you a new perspective, or just make a lazy Sunday unforgettable.
But hey, I know how time-consuming it can be to find the perfect book for either yourself or someone else. Because as all readers know, there are just so many books out there. So how do you find the good ones?
It's easy to stick with the mainstream books, the ones everyone's talking about, the ones with the biggest marketing budget, the ones from the big mainstream publishers that populate your local bookstore, that are all over your Instagram feed and your TikTok feed, and the ones that just everyone is talking about and you can't get away from. But they're no better, and they can sometimes be a lot worse than books that you've never heard about. And as a gift, they're rather predictable. So why not go for something unexpected? Find an author you've never read before, maybe an independent author, or one published by a smaller publisher.
What a great idea. I know that can be risky though, right? Because you just don't know whether they're any good. But there are so many hidden gems out there. Isn't it worth finding them and supporting those great authors who wrote them? I think so.
I think so too.
And that is why I've made it my mission to find these books and publish them in a curated list of great books.
That's what Alkira Publishing does. And so we have a curated list of books that you can guarantee are excellent quality. Talia here handpicks them. She's an editor with decades of experience, and believe me, she's fussy. So you can be sure that all our books are well crafted and well worth reading. Of course, you still have to match the book to the reader, but keep watching because we're going to help you do just that.
So today we're highlighting some amazing books from Alkira Publishing for yourself or others. Whether you're shopping for a mystery lover, a sci-fi fan, or someone who loves real life stories, we've got you covered.
Let's start with Memoirs. If you know someone who loves stories grounded in reality, personal journeys, triumphs and resilience, then Memoirs are a great pick. For example, Dancing on the Head of a Pin. This one is an inspiring read about a diabetic woman who walked the Camino Trail, 1,300 kilometres over 43 days. A story of overcoming adversity and finding strength, written with a good dose of humour. This one's perfect for anyone who loves true stories.
Yep, it's a great one, and humour, nice touch of humour, it's beautiful. And then we got Only Oblivion. Now this one is also superbly written, and it's an engrossing story that shows how easy it is to get sucked in by a partner's deceptions. It tells the story of how a young woman eventually pulls herself out of a toxic relationship with an alcoholic and drug addicted man. It's a cautionary tale and a very, very worthy read.
Out of Latvia. This is the story of an immigrant son searching for his roots. It's one of our best-selling books. I think because not only is it a great read, but it also resonates with immigrants and the children of immigrants everywhere.
And while we're on the topic of true stories, I have to show you I Ain't Afraid. Now, this isn't actually a memoir, it's a biography of Lulu Bell Parr, a Wild West cowgirl in the early 20th century, and what an amazing and inspiring woman she was. And the book is written by a very talented author, Diane Helen Jarter.
Then there's Redemption of the Murderer, another true story. This one is about Judy Neely, a teenage murderer. It's written by her prison chaplain and is another well-written and fascinating story.
Next up, thrillers and crime fiction. For the friend or family member who's always watching detective shows or loves a good whodunit, these are a no-brainer. This book, The Lion Hunt by Richard Zappa, will keep them guessing until the very end. It's written by a trial lawyer who really knows his stuff, and this is the fourth book that we've published for him.
Libertyland. I'd say this is a must-read for American thriller readers because it is rooted in the polarity of American politics and dives into the dangers of extremism. The reviews all say what an amazing read it is.
And then there's another American book, Made and Unmade. It's a story that looks into the question of how you get into and, more difficult, how do you get out of the Detroit mob. This one is perfect for those who are fascinated with the underworld and interested in the psychology of a killer.
A Date to Die For. This one's set in Australia and is a real hidden gem for those who love crime noir detective stories. It's a murder mystery with a complex dynamic between the two detectives on the case and an end that I didn't see coming.
Neither did I. If you or whoever you are buying for prefers something a bit cozier but still with a puzzle to solve, then cozy mystery novels are perfect. Think of them like a warm cup of tea on a rainy day with a twist of intrigue.
And for cozy mysteries, you really can't go past our novels by Gary Cree. They're charming and intriguing and keep you wondering until the very end. Circle of Chesterfield. This is one of his cozy mysteries, and it's about a college professor investigating the deaths of students at his college. This one has a fascinating secret society and spiritualistic twist.
And for the romantics in your life, well, romance novels are perfect. Sweet, dramatic, steamy. There's something for every kind of love story fan.
And on the little bit steamy side, we have Whiteout. This is a story about a man kidnapping the wrong woman, but for all the right reasons. And they find themselves holed up in a cabin in the mountains in a blizzard. But that's not the end of the story.
Another side of the heart. This one is really what you call women's fiction. It's a contemporary story about a woman whose 20-year-old daughter has died, her marriage is in tatters, and she meets an old flame, which raises some very interesting questions about her past.
And we can't forget about contemporary fiction. These are great for readers who love character-driven stories about life, relationships, and personal growth. It's like holding up a mirror to the world. The Samaritan's Patient is one of these. On the theme of the power of social media to influence young people in a negative way, Christian readers will really enjoy this one.
Wall of Tears by David Kerr, a well-researched and informative novel about people living in Israel and Palestine. It's a good read to help you understand the intergenerational trauma affecting what's happening over there now. And it's just a really great story. He's such a good writer.
San Juan Sunrise. This is the story of a woman who was abused as a child, learning to deal with her trauma and slowly coming to trust again. A great read for anyone recovering from trauma or interested in the process of recovery.
Brother Christopher by Don Thompson. I love this book. And the theme is really current. It's about a minister with an AI personal assistant. And the book looks at how not questioning the answers you get from an AI can distort somebody's perception of what is real. Don Thompson is an incredibly talented author who has several other books published with us, and talk about hidden gems. All his books are just fabulous. I really encourage you to pick one up.
And for those interested in the past who would like to learn about it in an entertaining way, we have historical fiction. Diary of a Lacemaker. Set in South Africa in 1749, this is an eye-opening and confronting story of the inequalities of the time. It has a healthy dose of intrigue and is an incredibly well-written and engaging story.
With Everything Goes to the Dogs, we go from South Africa to Australia in the 1980s, and we take a satirical look at the educational system reforms of that decade. Written with a good dose of humour, this one is a sure winner for anyone who likes a book that makes them smile.
Across the Ford. This one is a historical mystery set in Ireland in the 1960s and in 1922. It won a Best Prize for the Best Unpublished Manuscript before we even published it.
The Indenture of Ivy O'Neill is another extraordinarily well-written book, and this is about a little-known aspect of American history, that not every white person came to the States willingly. Great, gripping story.
And for us dreamers and adventurers, you can't go wrong with fantasy and science fiction. The Deep Tarn. This one's a fantasy adventure in a parallel reality, the fourth in a great contemporary fantasy series about a group of Aussie teenagers who find a portal to another world. I just love Australian fantasy fiction.
Somewhat Lost, a humorous space opera about a woman abducted by aliens. This is perfect for anyone who loves imagining the impossible and some very strange looking creatures.
Finally, for the deep thinkers or for those curious about life's big questions, metaphysical fiction is a unique choice. These books blend storytelling with philosophy, spirituality, or even a touch of the supernatural.
The Transcendence of Celeste Kelly is about a scientist who investigates quantum consciousness. And apart from being a great story, it's written by a well-known expert in that field.
From Beyond is the third book in the Between States series. These are metaphysical mystery books where the central characters can astral travel and manipulate lucid dreams. That's a really handy skill to have when solving mysteries.
Absolutely.
I wish I could do that.
Got to read it to believe it. Now, if you want something really different and like lyrical, almost poetic prose, and a story with deep psycho-spiritual concepts that I suggest Anastasia's Midnight Song. It's about two very strange people.
So, whatever your book lover's taste, there is a perfect fit from Alkira Publishing.
And this is only some of them. And if you're shopping for yourself, well, we won't judge. After all, you deserve a great read too.
Check out the link in the description to explore these books and more from Alkira Publishing. Happy gift giving and happy reading!
And don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video with your fellow book enthusiasts. Have a great holiday season.
Bye!